Good morning. We're going to continue learning different methods to graph linear equations. And the next one is graphing when they are in standard form. Last semester we worked a lot on changing these to slope-intercept form, which is actually always an option. But there's a faster way, and I like to call it the cover-up method. So what you're going to do is identify the x-intercept by getting rid of the y term, which means you're plugging in 0. And then identify the y-intercept by getting rid of x, or plugging in 0. And then plot those and connect the 2 points. Okay, so first problem here, we have 3x plus 2y equals 6. And I like to go ahead and create a little rectangle here. I'm going to cover up, it doesn't work like that though, this y first, and that will help me find my x-intercept. Let's go ahead and fill it in. Fill. There we go. Make it purple, go bucks. Okay, so if I cover up my y, I am left with the equation there, 3x equals 6. This is a pretty easy one to solve. If I divide by 3 on both sides, I get x equals 2. So here's my x-intercept. I'm going to go ahead and plot that. On my x-axis, I have 2. I'm going to go ahead and move this now. To find my y-intercept, I need to cover my x. Notice I'm not covering up that sign. That's actually really important, and a lot of people tend to make mistakes with that part. So pay attention to that sign. When I cover up my x, I am left with 2y equals 6. So to solve for y, we're going to divide by 2 on both sides to get 3. So my x-intercept is 3. Okay, so I plotted my x-intercept on my x-axis and my y-intercept on my y-axis. I might have said that incorrectly the first time. And I'm going to go ahead and draw my line to connect the 2 points. And try to make it stretch across as much of the graph as possible. And then I'm going to change my ends so I have arrows on both ends. Make it purple. And there's your line. Ignore the directions, it says using a table. Okay, next one. Same idea. We are going to, actually let me grab that. Use the box again. So next one, negative 2x plus y equals 4. Make it a little bit smaller, covering up my y. I am left with negative 2x equals 4. If I divide by negative 2 on both sides, I get x equals negative 2. I'm going to go ahead and plot that point on my x-axis. Okay, I'm going to move this box over. I'm going to cover up my x this time instead of my y. Notice I'm paying attention to that sign. And when I do that, I am actually left with y equals 4. There's not a number in front, or coefficient, so my y-intercept is 4. I'm going to go ahead and draw my line. Please get in the habit of using your ID when you're doing this, because it is extremely important later on that you have nice straight lines to make your life easier. Okay, it's also really important that you get in the habit of drawing your line all the way through the graph and not just stopping at the 2 points. And there's our line. Okay, same thing. So I'm going to paste that again. I'm going to start by covering up my y. So I'm left with negative x equals negative 3. Remember, negative x is the same as negative 1x. So if I divide by negative 1 on both sides, I get x equals 3. So 1, 2, 3. And then if I move my box, cover up my x, I am left with, this time, negative y equals negative 3, or negative 1y. So divide by negative 1 on both sides, I get y equals 3. Go ahead and draw your line. And you are finished. Run out of room there. And you're good. Okay, last one. Sorry. You do this on your own. Have us check it. Make sure you're good. The last one we're doing together is Corey works at the comic book store after school. She sold $24 worth of merchandise. She sold 3 packs of baseball cards and 4 comic books. It's modeled by the equation 3x plus 4y equals 24. Graph the equation, include labels on the graph. So we are going to go ahead and take that equation there and use our box. So I'm going to cover up my 4y. I am left with 3x equals 24. So if I divide by 3 on both sides, I get x equals 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if I move that over to cover up my x, I am left with 4y equals 24. Divide by 4 on both sides, you get your y-intercept is at 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then this time, because it's an application, I again don't want arrows on the ends because I can't have negatives. I'm going to go ahead and change that arrow. To a point. And we're going to go from there. Okay, now what we're labeling here is if she sold 3 packs of baseball cards, to make $24, that means the baseball cards were $8 each. And this would be the cost of comic books. And now that I work through the problem, that doesn't really work and make much sense that way, but we're going to leave it like that. Okay, have a great day. If you have any questions, let us know.